Hello, fellow explorers of the unknown. Today, we're embarking on a journey through time and knowledge in our latest episode. This story takes us to the heart of an ancient great library, where an astute historian, Dr. Jasmine Aziz, stands on the brink of a discovery that could forever change our world. Prepare yourselves for a thrilling tale of exploration, revelation, and the ethical dilemmas that come with unlocking secrets from the past. Without further ado, let's dive right in. In the bustling city of Alexandria, where ancient history coexists with modernity, the ruins of the Great Library stood as a silent testament to the knowledge of the ancients. Once the heart of wisdom and innovation in the ancient world, the library held a vast collection of literature, science, and philosophy. Its demise had resulted in the loss of innumerable scrolls, books, and the precious knowledge they contained. Or so it was believed until Dr. Jasmine Aziz arrived on the scene. Dr. Aziz, a historian and archaeologist renowned for her work on ancient civilizations, had been drawn to the mystery of the Great Library from a young age. Ever since she'd first read about it in a dusty old book in her grandfather's study, the library had fascinated her. The possibility of lost knowledge, of secrets that could reshape our understanding of the past, and perhaps even the future, was a lure she couldn't resist. After years of lobbying for access to the site, Dr. Aziz was finally granted permission to lead an excavation. The Egyptian government had recognized her commitment to preserving and understanding their country's history and had given her the go-ahead for the expedition. As she walked amongst the ruins, the air was heavy with the weight of history. The once vibrant halls, which had echoed with the voices of scholars and philosophers, were now silent, filled only with the whispers of the wind. But to Dr. Aziz, every stone, every etched marking, every piece of broken pottery was a voice from the past, waiting to be heard. For weeks, she and her team worked tirelessly, sifting through the rubble, cataloging artifacts, and documenting their findings. It was painstaking work, but they were driven by the promise of discovery and the chance to bring a piece of the past into the light. One day, while examining a partially collapsed wall in what was believed to be the main reading room, Dr. Aziz noticed an irregularity. Hidden amidst the crumbling stones and weathered inscriptions was a faint outline of what seemed to be a door. Her heart quickened. Could it be that they had discovered a secret room? With careful hands and bated breath, she and her team began to excavate the site around the door, working meticulously to avoid any damage. As they finally pushed the hidden door open, a rush of cool, stale air greeted them. A room, untouched for possibly thousands of years, lay before them, shrouded in darkness. Flicking on her torch, Dr. Aziz stepped into the room. The sight that greeted her was nothing short of incredible. Shelves lined the walls, laden with scrolls and books, the air heavy with the scent of ancient parchment and ink. It was a time capsule, a piece of the past that had survived the ravages of time. As she gingerly picked up one of the ancient texts, her pulse raced. The language was old, but familiar to her. She'd spent years studying ancient scripts and languages, and her expertise was now being put to the test. As she began to translate the archaic text, she realized with growing amazement that she held in her hands detailed descriptions of advanced technologies, ways to harness energy that were centuries ahead of their time. It was a discovery that could change everything, a secret that could solve the world's energy crisis and disrupt the current global order. But it was also a knowledge that could be misused, a power that could be exploited. As she stood in the ancient room, the weight of her discovery pressing upon her, Dr. Aziz realized that she faced an ethical dilemma of unprecedented magnitude. Dr. Aziz stood alone in the secret room, the ancient text spread out before her. The air was still, heavy with anticipation, the silence punctuated only by her own soft breaths. The task ahead was monumental. She had to delve deeper into these texts, to fully understand the scope of the knowledge they contained. She decided to set up a temporary research station right there, in the heart of the Great Library. A team of experts, carefully selected for their discretion and expertise in various fields, was flown in to assist her. Among them were linguists, historians, physicists, and engineers. It was an eclectic group, but they would need every ounce of their combined knowledge to unravel the secrets of the ancient texts. The next few weeks were a blur of activity. The team worked around the clock, reading, translating, and interpreting the information contained within the ancient scrolls and books. As they worked, a picture began to emerge of a civilization far more advanced than any they had previously known. The ancient scholars had found ways to harness the power of the sun, the wind, the tides, and even the very earth itself. Their technology was based on principles of harmony and balance, working with nature rather than against it. They had developed systems of energy production that were clean, sustainable, and incredibly efficient. One text described a device that could draw energy directly from the Earth's magnetic field. Another spoke of a machine that could capture and store sunlight, transforming it into usable power. There were schematics, diagrams, and step-by-step instructions, all meticulously detailed and surprisingly easy to understand, given the complexity of the concepts they presented. As the team dove deeper into the ancient texts, they discovered references to an advanced power source, a form of energy so potent that it could provide near unlimited power. But the details were missing. It seemed that the ancient scholars had deliberately left out key information, perhaps to prevent the misuse of this powerful technology. Dr. Aziz couldn't shake off the feeling of apprehension that gnawed at her. The implications were enormous. This technology could solve the energy crisis that threatened to engulf the world. It could end wars, eliminate poverty, and pave the way for unprecedented growth and prosperity. But it could also be used for destruction on a scale unimaginable. Her dilemma was deepened by the realization that the global energy industry, a multi-trillion-dollar market, would be severely disrupted by the introduction of this new technology. Powerful corporations and governments had vested interests in maintaining the status quo. Would they welcome this discovery, or would they see it as a threat? As she weighed her options, Dr. Aziz found herself wrestling with the ethical implications of her discovery. Should she share this knowledge with the world, risking potential misuse and upheaval? Or should she keep it a secret, preserving the current order but denying humanity the benefits of this ancient wisdom? The magnitude of the discovery weighed heavily on Dr. Aziz. Each day, as she and her team delved deeper into the ancient texts, the potential impact of their findings became more apparent. The technology they were uncovering could alter the trajectory of human progress, but it could also upend global power structures and economies. Dr. Aziz found herself wrestling with the ethical implications of her discovery. It was a predicament of historic proportions, a crossroads between revelation and catastrophe. The gravity of the situation was not lost on the team, either. Hushed conversations filled the research station, whispering of the immense power they held and the even greater responsibility that came with it. As the weeks passed, the team successfully reverse-engineered several of the simpler technologies described in the texts. They built prototypes of a solar collector and a device that harnessed the Earth's magnetic field for energy. These inventions alone had the potential to revolutionize the energy sector, but they paled in comparison to the near-unlimited energy source they had yet to fully understand. One night, while the team was deep in their work, Dr. Aziz slipped away from the research station. She made her way to the heart of the Great Library, where the silence of the ancient stone structure was a stark contrast to the buzz of activity in the makeshift lab. She needed solitude to grapple with the moral quandary she found herself in. Standing in the grandeur of the library, she felt the weight of centuries bearing down on her. This was a place of knowledge, a testament to the human thirst for understanding and advancement. Yet, it was also a grim reminder of the cyclical nature of civilizations: rise and fall, creation and destruction. Did the ancient scholars foresee the dilemma she was facing now? Was this why they had hidden this knowledge away in the depths of the library? Dr. Aziz realized that the decision she faced was bigger than her. It was about the future of humanity, about the kind of world they wanted to leave for future generations. And it was a decision she could not make alone. The next morning, she called a meeting with her team. She laid bare her fears, her hopes, and the monumental decision that lay before them. It was a moment of vulnerability, one that resonated with everyone present. They too had felt the weight of their discovery, the potential for great good and equally great harm. After hours of intense discussion, they reached a consensus. They would continue their work, unlocking the secrets of the ancient technology. But they would do so with caution, aware of the potential misuse of their discoveries. As for the near unlimited energy source, they would seek advice from a diverse group of experts and ethicists from around the world before deciding on the next steps. Having made their decision, the team returned to their work with renewed vigor. They were on the cusp of a breakthrough, one that could change the world. But only time would tell if humanity was ready for such a leap. With the team's decision made, Dr. Aziz began reaching out to experts from various fields. She sought out physicists, environmental scientists, ethicists, sociologists, and influential figures known for their wisdom and insight. The response was overwhelming. Many were eager to contribute their expertise to help navigate the uncertain path ahead. They convened in the Great Library, a symbolic choice that underscored the significance of their task. This group, named the Council of Wisdom, was to deliberate on the most responsible course of action regarding the newly discovered energy source. As the council convened, Dr. Aziz presented her team's findings, revealing the full extent of the ancient technology they had uncovered. The council members listened with rapt attention, awed by the potential of such a discovery. Yet, they were also acutely aware of the potential pitfalls of introducing such a radical change to the world. The discussions were intense and far-reaching, covering economic implications, environmental impacts, potential for misuse, and the effect on global power dynamics. The council grappled with questions of who should control such a technology, how it should be implemented, and whether humanity was ready for such a leap forward. While the council debated, Dr. Aziz's team continued their work, gradually unlocking the secrets of the ancient texts. They made significant progress on understanding the near unlimited energy source. It was based on quantum manipulation of energy at a subatomic level, a concept far ahead of current scientific understanding, but consistent with the advanced knowledge demonstrated in the other texts. Back in the council, consensus proved elusive. The complexity of the situation, the multitude of variables and potential outcomes, made it incredibly difficult to determine a clear path forward. There were heated debates and ideological clashes, but through it all, there was a shared understanding of the gravity of their task. Amid the debates, a thought struck Dr. Aziz. The ancient scholars who penned the texts must have grappled with similar dilemmas. How did they decide to hide this knowledge? Did they, too, convene a council of their own? Were they guided by wisdom or fear? The texts provided no answers, only more questions. As the council continued its deliberations, Dr. Aziz found herself torn between her responsibility as a historian and her duty to the future of humanity. She had unearthed a discovery that could redefine human progress, yet she was also acutely aware of the potential for catastrophe. The weight of this decision rested heavily on her shoulders, a burden that was hers to bear, but not hers alone to resolve. Weeks turned into months as the Council of Wisdom delved deeper into the complexities surrounding the ancient technology. Simultaneously, Dr. Aziz's team worked tirelessly to further unravel the secrets of the ancient texts, hoping to find more guidance in their pages. Then, one day, as the council was in the midst of another heated debate, a member of Dr. Aziz's team burst into the room. They had made a breakthrough. A previously undeciphered section of the text had been translated. It revealed a warning from the ancient civilization. The near unlimited energy source, while transformative, had the potential to bring about unparalleled destruction if mishandled. It was this fear that had led them to conceal the knowledge within the secret room in the Great Library. The revelation cast a somber mood over the council. The weight of their responsibility became even more palpable. The ancient civilization had been advanced, perhaps more so than the modern world, yet they had decided to hide this knowledge. Was humanity any more prepared to handle such power now than it had been then? In the end, the decision fell to Dr. Aziz. As the one who had discovered the texts and as the head of the Council of Wisdom, she found herself at the crossroads of an ethical dilemma that could change the course of human history. She reflected on the ancient scholars who had hidden this knowledge, the heated debates among the council members, and the potential impact of this discovery on humanity. She thought about the potential for a future free from energy scarcity, but also a future that might be marred by the misuse of this power. Dr. Aziz realized that the decision was no longer just about the energy source itself, but about the readiness of humanity to responsibly harness and manage such power. And so, after much contemplation and with the wisdom of the council in her heart, Dr. Aziz made her choice. But here, dear reader, we leave the ending up to you. If you were in Dr. Aziz's place, confronted with the power to transform the world and the potential to disrupt it, what would you do? Would you share the knowledge with the world, risking the potential misuse of the technology? Or would you choose to safeguard it, preserving the status quo but also potentially delaying a new era of progress for humanity? What would be your choice, and why? And so, we reach the end of this incredible journey. We followed Dr. Jasmine Aziz as she grappled with an unfathomable choice, one that holds the potential to upend our world as we know it. It's a tale that leaves us pondering the weight of knowledge and the consequences of its revelation. What choice would you make if you were in Dr. Aziz's shoes? As always, we'd love to hear your thoughts. If you found this tale as captivating as we did, don't forget to hit that like button and share it with your fellow explorers of the unknown. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel and ring the notification bell so you never miss an episode of Wonders of the Unknown. Thank you all for joining us on this journey through the uncharted territories of knowledge and discovery. Until next time, keep your curiosity alive and remember, the wonders of the unknown await us all.